Hello everybody and welcome to Loket, Czech Republic. It's round 13 of the FIM Motocross World Championship. Up next, the final race of the day, MXGP Race 2, 30 minutes plus 2 laps. We are in the very west of the country there, close to the German border. This is the picture-perfect postcard scene that is Loket. Karlovy Vary is just down the road as well, about 15 minutes or so. The spa town, a lot of history in this particular part of the world, especially with this racetrack. Been coming here since 1995. We've just seen the 50th winner crowned around this circuit. We'll get a 51st winner, but who will it be? We'll see the highlights of MXGP Race 1 in a few moments' time. But the top three in the championship are really playing a proper game of cat and mouse in 2024 with 8 rounds to go, including this one. The atmosphere electric, building all around this racetrack. The weather conditions, hot, humid. You've got a challenging racetrack, up and down. It's hard, it's slick, it's edgy. It's unforgiving if you get it wrong. A lot of Gajser fans in here as well. But there is a look at how the circuit is breaking down. It looks soft, doesn't it? But it's a hard crust underneath that loose dirt. And it really is giving the riders something to think about. The racetrack, just under 1,600 meters long. When you hit the finish line coming towards us at the bottom of the page there, that triggers Sector 1. A few corners later, we end Sector 1 where we jump up over the little double there. That's behind pit lane. Sector 2 dropping into the left-hander. Sector 3 ends as you jump back onto the start straight, just where those banners are around that area on the bottom left corner of your screen. And then the rest back down towards the finish line area. But it's been a fantastic atmosphere all weekend long here. And we can't wait for this one to get started. The flares, the atmosphere, the chainsaws, the air horns. Typical scenes of MXGP. Take a look at the first MXGP race. Here's what happened earlier. So if you weren't with us earlier, here's how it went down. Jorge Prado, middle of the gate. But it was Jeremy Seawer, a couple of riders down on the Kawasaki, who bagged his 4th foxhole shot of the season. Prado was there behind him in second, but Benoit Paturel in there on the number 6 Yamaha swept across the Spaniard into the second turn. Gajser was there, and so too was Herlings. Prado quickly into second position here as he nudged the Spaniard wide, and then Gajser went with him as well into 3rd place. Herlings followed into 4th. This was the end of the lap. And this was Seawer just getting duffed up here. He was quickly back to 4th place. As Prado came by, Herlings came by. Seawer now into 4th. Seawer did try to fight to stay ahead of Gajser. But all eyes on the battle here between 1st and 2nd. Jorge Prado and Jeffrey Herlings. Herlings doubled his way in. He found his way past the Spaniard. Calvin Blondren on a good charge as well. He eventually came home in 5th place. He found his way past Benoit Paturel. Paturel then came under attack from his fellow countryman, Romain Fevre. Fevre made the move to move into 6th. Benoit Paturel came home in 7th place, but it was Jeffrey Herlings with his 8th win in his 200th career victory in race 1. Anyway, Lisa Leyland was down on the grid a few moments ago. She caught up with Ivo Monticelli. He was missing in Indonesia. Before that, Albi Ferrato, standing construct Honda.
We are almost ready for the final race of the day, MXGP Race 2, but I want to speak to a rider who we have missed here at MXGP, is Alberto Ferrato. Alberto, we haven't seen you for a very long time. It was a very, very difficult road to recovery for you. Please give us an update on how you're feeling with the injury.
Yeah, for sure it was a pretty tough one, but now I'm back, and let's build from here. For sure it's tough to come back after so long, but somewhere we have to start, right? So just go from here and keep building.
The main thing is that you're okay now. First race, understandably, it's going to be difficult for you. I mean, you haven't raced for a while. How are you feeling about that first result?
Yeah, it was really tough. Arm pump was huge. From the beginning, bam, big arm pump. So then, especially in this track, it's really not easy. So yeah, of course, not the best, but we build from here. We start here, and then we keep going up.
So good to have you back. Thanks, Albi. Now, I'm going to speak to this next rider, Ivo Monticelli, because he's so desperate for an interview. All weekend he's been on my case, so I just feel sorry for you. So it's just like, you know, you can invoice me later for this, but how are you feeling? I know you missed the Indonesian rounds. You're now back, so you're ready for some action.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you for interviewing me now, Elisa. And now I feel good. We jumped Indonesia, we were not there, but today I feel pretty good. I have a bad start before, but good comeback till 15th place. Missed the starts, and in this track it's really important, so now I try just to have a better start and be more in front from the beginning, so it will be better.
Like you mentioned the starts, Ivo, I mean, it's a full grid as well, so just to, you do need a good start here, just to get through that first corner cleanly, don't you, really?
Yeah, I think the first GP, after a long time, we have 40 riders on the grid, and it's pretty long straight, and yeah, it's really important, like you say. It's really hard the track and tough condition because it's really sketchy, so you don't have many good line. But yeah, it's important, so we try to do our best now and go for it.
Enjoy the second race. Thanks, Ivo. Okay, good luck to the guys. You're welcome. You owe me big time. It's time for the final race of the day, MXGP Race 2.
Take a look at where we are then, and where we've been. We are now on the second page. A double-header, Czech Republic this weekend, and of course, Flanders at Lommel in a week's time in Belgium. And then we have a week off. Then we go to Sweden at Uddevalla, Arnhem in the Netherlands, Frauenfeld in Switzerland. A week off, and then we've got Turkey and China back-to-back. A week off, and then the final round in Kozar, another GP in Spain. A week after that, look at that, the big one, the Monster Energy Motocross of Nations. Natalie Basin on the 6th of October. Okay, get a room. Here's how the riders line up for MXGP Race 2, exactly as they did for Race 1. Tim Gajser on pole for the 6th time this year. Jorge Prado go to the line next to him, and then Jeffrey Herlings, Jeremy Seawer, Calvin Villano, and Roman Fevre, and Mattia Guadagnini. And then Glenn Koldenoff will go to the line in 8th place. Valentin Guillot, 9th, and Giuseppe Tropepi. He crashed in race 1, and that's a shame because that was his first round qualifying championship point in that 10th place. Then we've got Paturel. What a great start he had from that 11th gate pick. He came out in the first turn, 3rd, and then briefly into 2nd place. Good to see Albi Ferrato back as well. 40 riders lining up today for the MXGP races. Tim Gajser has never won here in the Czech Republic. Will today be his day? After so many years of trying, he does have 5 podiums, but will this one be a top step? Jeffrey Herlings celebrated race 1, his 8th win of the season, his 200th race career victory. Will he make it number 106? A circuit that's not been great to him over the past as well. Jeremy Seawer, 4th in race 1. Looking for his 2nd podium of the year with Kawasaki Racing Team. Gas have never won around Loket. Jorge Prado looking to change that. He was 2nd in race 1. If he finishes ahead of Jeffrey Herlings and Tim Gajser in race 2, then of course he will rewrite the history books. Glenn Koldenoff, Fantic Factory Racing MXGP. He had a hard charge through the field for 9th in race 1 ahead of his teammate Brian Bogers. Roman Fevre there, number 3, Kawasaki Racing Team. Right in the centre of the gate. Look, there's a few spare places this time around. So we've had a couple of dropouts for whatever reason. Got injury, but Jeffrey Herlings there, 7 or 8 gates over on the inside from the left. Good to see Roman Fevre back after that thumb injury. We're going to get the Fly Racing 15-second board up for the final time this weekend. MXGP Race 2, the conclusion race of this MXGP of Czech Republic here in Loket. 15-second board, that'll turn to 5, the heads will go down, the revs will go up, keeping an eye on the number 3 in the middle of the gate, the 84 over on this side of the gate, and Tim Gajser a couple of positions further down, and Herlings gets cut off there immediately. He's going to have to queue up the inside. That may have scuppered his chances of the overall victory. There he is, tiptoeing around. He emerges in around about 10th place. Guadagnini's down. And Monticelli down as well. Herlings lucky not to get caught in that, but I think it's tipped over. Going into turn 2. That might have been Herlings. Out of the side door it was. He survives turn 1, he goes down in turn 2. And it's Prado who leads. Gajser second. Watch this here. Herlings to the outside. He runs into the back of a rider ahead of him. He goes over the bars. And he's right at the back. A disastrous start for the Bullet. Wow, what a start we've got here. All of a sudden. And Prado leading the way. Gajser second. Valandren there in third place. Fevre in fourth. Guillaume was fifth, but he's just been passed there by Brian Bogers in white. Valandren, can he go? We've got Ryder down here as well. KTM, and he's parked underneath it. Couldn't see who that rider was underneath there, but all kinds of shenanigans going on. Where is Jeffrey Herlings? That is the big question. He's already up into 24th place. Ahead of Monticelli. Here he is. This is going to be the ride of the season if he gets somewhere close to the top 3. Because 40 riders on the grid. It's okay when you go to Indonesia, when you've got less than 20 riders and you say, oh, I came from last in the first turn. It's not the same, is it? You go down here and you're down in 35th, 36th position. That's a whole different kettle of fish. He's just going to have to pull the pin and go for broke, Jeffrey Herlings. And I guess we're going to focus on this battle here of him coming through the field, making light work of quite a few of the riders out there on the racetrack at the moment in the early stages. That was Jakub Terezak of the Czech Republic, by the way. He just went by. Somebody else just falling in the first turn there, but it's Prado who leads. He's 1.2 clear of Gajser, then Valandren. These two separated by 2.6 seconds. Fevre is next there, number 3. He's in 4th. Bogers 5th. Guillaume 6th. Siwa 7th. Patrel 8th. Panzer and Bonacorsi. Herlings already up in the 15th place. He is running, fueled by adrenaline. Bottom end of the circuit. These two separated by about a second and a half. Prado and Gajser. Valandren eyeing up a podium, a third successive podium if he stays where he is. He'll be on 36, Fevre on 33, Herlings on 33, but Herlings with a lot more traffic to get through. Trying to chase the dirt. Here is the Bullet. He was 13.5 seconds down on the race leader at the last split. He's getting ready to go up the inside of Andrea Bonacorsi. Fighting for 11th place now, Jeffrey Herlings. Looking to go around the Italian. Oh, and he's down again! Just misread the situation. Was eyeing him up for 11th place. Breathe and focus. Just mistimed it, that's all that was. Wow, we've got a race on here. Watch this here. He could have gone around the outside, but he didn't. He tried to cut back, and then look at that. Back end of Bonacorsi went one way, then the other. There's nothing he could do. Herlings down on his ear. Hating life right now. He's lost a handguard as well on that left side. And Herlings over the line once again in 16th place. 15th now as he goes past Terezak. And going after the 3:13 of Peter Pollock. Should make light work of the man in yellow. Meanwhile, front end of the grid. There's the 91 of Siwa. He's in 7th. He's going after Valentin Guillaume, so the 92 and the 91 locked together once again here. But it's Prado, Gajser and Valandren. Herlings with still a lot of work to do. Tim Gajser does not want to let Jorge Prado gain any more ground on him in the championship. He gained 2 points on him in race 1. which means those two separated by 33. Who wins this one, he'll gain another 3 points. They'll be down to 30 points heading into Lommel in a week's time. Jeffrey Herlings in 14th position at the moment, but quickly he'll be into 13th. He's got Thomas Kohut just ahead of him. And then Van Donnik about another 2 or 3 seconds further up the track. But this crash in this bottom corner a minute ago, costing him about another 5 positions, but maybe about another 20 seconds in track time, all being told, because he's going to get held up behind riders now as he tries to come back through the field. Guillaume got his best overall Grand Prix of the season. Last time out in Indonesia, 5th overall for the Ship to Cycle Honda Motor Blues SR rider. Those two Swiss riders very, very close as they emerge down the final descent. And a mistake there from Guillaume. He tries to defend. Siwa goes by and he picks up 6th place. Watch this here. He looked across, he knew it was there, probably just had about enough clearance. Herlings now 13th, a second behind Brent Van Donnik. Van Donnik usually a tough customer to overtake. And Herlings 24 seconds off the lead now. He was about 15 seconds when he made that mistake. Cuts to the inside of Brent Van Donnik here. He'll stay low. Cut to the inside. Late break, and he does that. Moves past Van Donnik, and he moves up into 12th place. Going again after Bonacorsi. It's cost him 2 laps of moving forward. So all over the back of Bonacorsi. This time Bonacorsi looks across and says, you know what, you're probably going to go by me anyway. An easier route through this time around for Jeffrey Herlings. Jeffrey Herlings, 2 laps ago, tried to find his way past Bonacorsi in this corner for 11th place. He caught the Italian's rear wheel. He's just found a way by him about 3 or 4 corners ago as he now moves himself back into 11th. They've got Jan Panzer in orange just ahead of him, or in red now this weekend, or in race 2, the 2.53 there. Prado and Gajser still separated by 1.3 seconds at the head of the field. The gap will be down to 30 points if it stays like this. It was 34 at the start of the weekend. Tim Gajser also knows there's still work to do here. Does not want to give any advantage, whether it's to Prado, to Herlings, but Herlings, who fell at turn 2 right at the start of the race, and again on the opening lap, with some work to do here. Panzer looks across and says, what are you doing there, buddy? Not there for long, though. Moves past the Slovenian. Gajser now up in the 10th place. He now has about 2.2 seconds, 2.259, to find his way onto the rear wheel of the 2.59. Glenn Koldenoff for 9th. .6 seconds separate these two riders here. The conditions of the ground, though, hard, slick, natchery, edgy. Throttle control absolutely has to be on point, smooth. But what a race Herlings has had so far. Got a bad jump, got cut off going down the start straight, got pinched to the inside, survived the first turn melee, went about 100 metres later, got tipped out as he hit the rear wheel of another rider ahead of him in turn 2, picked himself up right at the back in 35th place, got to 11th on the opening lap, tipped down to about 14th. And he's now circulating in 10th, 1.5 seconds behind Glenn Koldenoff. In fact, it's not even 1.5 behind now, because there's Herlings. He's got 3 riders directly ahead of him. Koldenoff, Guillaume and Pacharel. 3 riders ready to be picked here by the bullet. Doing it the hard way, isn't he? 22.5 seconds off the lead. Can't see him affecting Prado and Gajser. And Valandren 2.5 seconds behind them. Nips up the inside of Koldenoff. goes after Guillot. Moves up into 9th, around the outside of the Swiss and into 8th place. We're getting a masterclass in how to overtake on a circuit where people say it's difficult to overtake. And look at that. Koldenhoff going past Guillot as well, as he goes and follows the bullet into 9th place. Look at Roman Fevre. Fevre was the fastest rider on track last time around, 148.6. The only rider below 49s, Prado, Gajser and Valandren, who were all in the 49s. Bogus here in 5th place. Seawer in 6th on the number 91. So the Fantic Factory MXGP rider from the Netherlands. Whoa! Tell you what, he left the door open, realised then before it was too late. Seawer knocks up the inside and just ruthlessly takes over that 5th place. And Bogus rejoins behind Brent van Donnick. That's going to be in 13th position. Yeah, he saw it coming late, look. Right, Jeffrey Herlings would have took advantage of that. All of a sudden, Prado now only 1.3 clear of Tim Gajser. Gajser bringing his A game this time around. He got to 3rd in race 1, but by then Herlings and Prado and Herlings as it was then, they were already too far gone. But all of a sudden, a different Tim Gajser this time around. He knows that the second race could be important. He's got Prado right there where he wants him. Herlings now up in the 6th place. Bogus down to 13th. That's how expensive that was. Herlings only 3.4 seconds behind Jeremy Seawer. Still 24 seconds behind these two, though. 17 minutes plus 2 laps is still a very long way to go. In MXGP, even in the second race, it's still hot, it's still humid. You're going to need to rely on fitness and smart riding. Well, Jeffrey's got fitness. The smart riding bit was lacking on the second corner, and when he tried to find his way past Bonacorsi, but he's got his stuff together right now, and he's all over the back of Jeremy Seawer. And he has whittled down a 3-second advantage very, very quickly. Seawer looks across, he defends, of course he does. But he's going to get alongside him at the end of the straight here, and he does, and Seawer almost took the front, but Herlings moves up in the 5th place. What a ride this has been from Herlings. Try and keep him down at your peril. He sets the fastest lap of the race on lap 7 as well. A 1:48.467. Prado's lap was quicker in race 1, 47.585 or 685. But now he's got clear track once again, but it's 15.3 seconds of clear track to Roman Fevre. Fevre was at 50.4 last time around. Herlings at 48.4. Can he maintain that kind of pace, though? That is the question. In fact, Fevre already heading up Monster Energy Mountain. That tight left before you got the long drag up. Watch this here. Seawer folded the front going into this turn, but I think he was spooked here by Herlings. He gets in there close, and watch this. He catches an edge right there, look. And probably wasn't expecting Herlings to be right there. Anyway, Herlings with the crowd behind him. He's got 15 seconds to make up to Roman Fevre. Doubling his way through. Had it not been for that tip over in turn 2. And on that opening lap, when he got himself up into 11th from 35th, we could have been looking at a different scenario altogether. He would have been right there with Prado and Gajser if buts and maybes don't cut it, though. as Prado under attack from Gajser. He makes a mistake. Gajser tries to do to Prado what he got done to him in Indonesia. And they're bar to bar. Literally, this could end in tears. We've said that before. Gajser using all of the racetrack as he drops back into view. Prado did not like losing the lead. And back markers might come into play as well. Well, game on, 15 minutes to go or thereabouts. Plus those 2 laps, of course. Nervous back markers, you would be as well, wouldn't you, if you see the 2:43 and the 1. Herlings has got himself onto the podium, 3rd overall. So we've got Prado, Gajser, Herlings. That's your podium as it stands right now. But this is how Gajser got himself into the lead, because Prado just got held up by a back marker here. He followed him in, look. Watch this. Just cost him too much time, and then he has to change line. Gajser holds that nice tight line, and then he got close enough, bottom of the hill. He tried to brake check him. That didn't go to plan, but Prado is just here. Just got nudged to the outside. Gajser leads. Tim Gajser leads in. Doesn't triple. Prado does. Gets himself back onto the rear wheel of the Slovenian. Herlings chipping away at Valandren, but at Fevre. But it's going to be an expensive race, this, for Jeffrey Herlings. Nine laps complete for the top 2. 3 riders now. Valandren is through, so too is Fevre. We wait for Herlings. Fevre in a 1:52.7 territory. Here's the bullet. Is he still in the 48s or the 49s? Yes, he is. 49s. He's the fastest man on track at the moment, because Gajser 50.9, Prado 53.3, Valandren 51.7, Fevre 52.7, Herlings 49.6. He's got the gap down to 10.8 seconds. Needs back markers to be kind, and he needs Fevre to be riding in dreamland. If he is to close him down. By that, I mean, Fevre just kind of going, well, I'm 2.7 seconds behind Valandren. I may or may not be able to catch him. Depends how hard the Frenchman is prepared to push. But he's on the Monster Energy jump at the bottom end of the circuit, as Herlings is here at the top end of that same straight. But he is closing down the gap. It's 10.8 now, as he continues to push on. He is going to leave everything out there, isn't he, Jeffrey Herlings? Blue flags waving for the back markers frantically. Here is Romain Fevre, the Kawasaki rider. He's 2.7 behind Valandren. There is the South African ahead of him on the Yamaha. Looks like Fevre still prepared to push, though. Romain Fevre still hanging on in there in fourth place. 2.7 seconds behind Valandren. Still looks like he's prepared to push, as he looks to close down the South African on that Monster Energy Yamaha. 3 victories around here in the past, of course. Tim Gajser has never won here. Gas have never won here. Prado, Herlings, Fevre, all with 3 Grand Prix victories around this racetrack. Tim Gajser coming in thinking that's greedy by his rivals. 5 times on the podium for the Slovenian. He's got a 1-point advantage over Jorge Prado at the moment with 11 minutes to go. Gajser with a 3rd and a 1st, 30 points and 25 points, that's 45. Prado 44 with 2 seconds, so 2 lots of 22. And Herlings with a 1st and a 5th at the moment, 25 and 16. He's on 41 points. We were kind of hoping, just for the championship's sake, that Romain Fevre would get in on the act in between Tim Gajser, Jorge Prado and Jeffrey Herlings. Back markers here for Romain Fevre as they have their own race. He cuts the inside. 2 for him. Still 3 seconds behind Valandren, though. Valandren just missing out on the podium, 4th overall. 36 points for him at the moment. Right, there's Herlings. He had a look across as well. He would see that he's closing in on Febvre, 8.9 seconds now, the gap between the Bullet and the Frenchman. Now he's cornering like he's on rails. Great riding though, isn't it, this? He's still in the 49.9 territory last time around. 51, 52, 51s for the riders around him. Gajser's just over the line now with a 150.4. Prado, a 52.0. That gap now 4 seconds. You know what? If Prado, Vlaanderen and Febvre switch off, we could still see Herlings get to second place. It's not impossible if it's mathematical. And Herlings only 7 seconds off of Febvre now. He's 17 off of Gajser. Only 14 seconds behind Prado. Wow, strap yourselves in, folks. Because he is riding at 110%. Everyone else seems to be riding at 80% just to get through the weekend, just to get through race 2. Prado hasn't escaped Calvin Vlaanderen, that gap's still 2.8 seconds. But if Febvre looks up and sees a flash of orange, that'll spur him into life. And that'll push him onto Vlaanderen, that will push him onto Prado. So Herlings may get close, but it might depend on what happens here, because Febvre will be the first to react if he sees a flash of the Bullet, who is right here, closing down on back markers. Phenomenal ride for the Bullet. There's Febvre just ahead of him. Vlaanderen going through turn 1, as we said that. He's in 3rd place. Just under 8 minutes plus 2 to go. Look at that, 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th. Gajser down there on his way towards the finish line area. Prado at the top of the hill. Might be an ask, a big ask to get him to 2nd, but a 3rd place is possible, you know. It is not. Well, stranger things have happened, put it that way. But Tim Gajser, 150.9. Prado, 50.9. Their gap maintained at 3.9 seconds. Vlaanderen, 51.3. He's 3.2 adrift. Febvre, 51.9. Herlings now just starting to fade. He's in the 50s as well, 50.2. So that gap may not come down. It is 5.4 seconds between him and Febvre. But he's had to put absolutely everything plus more. He is empty in the tank in this 2nd race. 57 there, Edvard Bidzans, the Latvian. Where is he? He's in 26th place at the moment. Herlings, a mistake coming out of that left-hander. How much more can he give to this race? Jeffrey Herlings. There's Febvre in the next corner. The gap's still hovering at 5.4. What is it now as he hits the next split? Not picking up on the split there. But he still looks across. He still believes, doesn't he? Every time he looks across, he knows he's exactly where he wants to be. Well, not literally, but to make a challenge anyway. Jeffrey Herlings looking across. Look, he would have seen Prado, Vlaanderen, Febvre at some point through the trees, bottom corner, as he scanned the horizon. And Romain Febvre looks like he's picked his pace up as well, maybe. Does not want to get caught out in the last 6 minutes plus 2 laps. Oh, he wasn't able to get over there cleanly, was he? Oh, and he's looking down. What has he done? Has he tweaked has he got an injury, Romain Febvre? So Romain Febvre, he looked down to the right side, and he keeps looking down. He could have tweaked he could have caught something, or possibly got a back brake problem, maybe, who knows? But Romain Febvre, yeah, there's something definitely not right here. Watch this here. It was before that, coming out of turn 2, heading up the hill, is when he didn't get over those waves. So Febvre then can't do anything here. Herlings is going to pick him off for 4th place. And there's Vlaanderen just ahead of him in third place as well. So Herlings then now up in the fourth. Roman Febvre having to ride around whatever problems he's got there. Looks more like a technical issue. Foot peg or rear brake possibly. Speculating, of course. Again, looks across, look. And there's a back marker just ahead. Vlaanderen, probably about 5 seconds further up the track. Where is he? Oh, he's already up into the first turn. So he's got some work to do, Herlings. So 4 minutes plus 2 laps to go. Stay away from the bank. We've seen that catch a few people out, including today. Let's get him over the line. We'll give you a recap. Three and a half minutes plus 2 laps to go. MXGP race 2 here. Tim Gajser 5.2 seconds clear of Jorge Prado, the HRC rider, on course for what will be his first ever victory around this Loket circuit. The Red Bull Gas rider, Jorge Prado, there in second. Vlaanderen 3.6 seconds further back. Herlings now fourth, but he's still 7 seconds behind the South African with 3 minutes plus 2 laps to go. Febvre with some kind of issue from a lap ago. He is now dropped to fifth. He's 17 seconds clear of Jeremy Seewer, so can he keep the Swiss at bay in the latter stages on his return from injury? Jorge Prado doing enough to stay there in second. He'll lose a point overall in the Grand Prix with the 2 races today to Tim Gajser. But as it stands at the top of the championship, Tim Gajser will move to 6.63. The gap will be 36 seconds, 36 points between Gajser and Prado. And Jeffrey Herlings, after what was such a promising start, he will now be 19 points behind Jorge Prado. Very up and down, isn't it? A lot of concertina, back and forth. Gajser almost having an issue there with Thomas Kohut. Didn't need that. So close to the Grand Prix victory. He's already committed, look, and Kohut saw the blue flag, looks across, double took. Yes, it was Tim Gajser. Herlings still chipping away at Vlaanderen, but it's 6.6 the gap. Vlaanderen at 51.5, Herlings at 50.9, so only half a second or thereabouts. Heading up towards the work area. Again, just overcooking things there, ever so slightly, or not as smooth as it was earlier. But he has put absolutely everything into this race, hasn't he? Jeffrey Herlings. So too has Tim Gajser, as he catches a couple of horrible holes at the top of the hill there at Monster Energy Mountain. Would have felt that through the handlebars. Same part of the racetrack here for Herlings, a little bit smoother. Yeah, Vlaanderen, he's already up in the next right-hander, top of the hill. That's how much ground Herlings has still yet to make up as Vlaanderen jumps onto the start straight. Gajser, it's going to be 3 laps to go, isn't it, I think, just about. Because Herlings about 15 seconds behind your race leader, who's coming downhill now. Yeah, look at the time, 15 seconds. About 13 as he hits the line, or thereabouts. Well, 8 on the clock. Still will not give up though, will he? He will keep pushing. This is a story of the race of Jeffrey Herlings. It's been an entertaining one if you're an innocent bystander like us. Watch this here, Herlings against the rails. He goes in next to the rider behind in the black and white. That was on the opening lap, second corner. He picked himself up, started making massive ground on the riders ahead of him, picking off riders that you'd expect to. This was around about 12th place. That was Peter Pollock. And then, watch this here, he tries to get back across and then tags the rear wheel of Bonacorsi as he was going for 11th place. Then, 2 laps later, the same rider, the same position, but that's how much time it cost him. He lent on Jan Panzer as he moved into 10th. That was on lap 5. And then he found his way past Goldenhoff and Guillaume as he moved into 8th place at the time. And then Siwa, this was for 5th place. That was on lap 7. And then Fevre for 4th place, but Fevre already with a slight issue, something on the right side. And Herlings continues to push and charge. We haven't seen too much of Calvin Vlaanderen. The gap 5 seconds now between him and Herlings with just over 2 laps to go. And Tim Gajser getting ready to take the 2-lap board. Herlings hasn't won here since 2018. Tim Gajser has never won here at all. And he's in control with 2 laps to go, Tim Gajser. Right, there's Vlaanderen in blue and yellow. Herlings is getting closer. Back marker, sees he's there, looks across, stays to his very, very left so Herlings can go by. Oh, can he just dig that little bit deeper? It was a 150.5 compared to the 52.7 of Vlaanderen on that lap. It is going to be very, very tight, isn't it? Vlaanderen for sure will know that Herlings is catching. He'll look out the corner of his eye. The pit crew will be there telling him as well. Vlaanderen will still be 4th overall. Vlaanderen with a little bit of traffic ahead of him. The bullet lighting up the rear end. Still riding as if it's the first lap of the race. That marker just there. Peter Pollock, 3:13. Where is he? He's in 19th place. Unaware that Herlings is right there behind him. Well, once bitten, twice shy. Gets out of the turn a little bit earlier. Doesn't want another Bonacorsi mistake. But he's carving away now at Vlaanderen's advantage in 3rd place. Said it wouldn't be impossible. And Herlings now knocking on the door for 3rd. Gajser into the final lap. Prado over the line now, 18 laps complete for him. There's Vlaanderen, there's Herlings. Vlaanderen has responded here. If he can hold off the number 84, that'll be pretty impressive. He can see he's upped his tempo. Doesn't want to lose that 3rd place finish on the final lap. After sitting there pretty much all race long. But he also has problems of his own. The 2:24 there, Terazak. And again, Herlings are going to catch him at an unfortunate time. Fortunately for him, Terazak does see the danger. He moves across and lets him through. Oh! Wow, another warning sign there. Front went, back went, legs off the bike. Watch this here. Just caught a hole as he went in. He got on the gas and then, very close to getting high-sided off the edge of the jump. That's how hard he's pushing still. Half a lap to go. 3rd position on the line here between the 10 and the 84. And he's going to charge down the inside here. Oh, he was tight. He gets to go again, but the back end doesn't allow him. And he may have just... Well, he looked very relaxed through there, didn't he? Something may happen there. It's Jeffrey Herlings. And he's just decided, no, there is no way through. Well, Jeffrey Herlings, you don't often see that. It looked like he just came up into the turn of the back end, just bounced out of the corner, and he didn't get the drive when he wanted to. And it was just before here, up in the right-hander. So Vlaanderen will cross the line third, but Tim Gajser wins race 2. He wins in Loket for the first time. Prado second, Vlaanderen third. Jeffrey Herlings crossing the line in fourth. That's going to be good enough for a podium, third overall, but I wonder what it was that caused him to pull out of that challenge for third with Calvin Vlaanderen with a handful of corners to go. But it looked like he came up into the hill, into the braking zone, under the trees. And the back end, I heard something just rattle away, and something, whether the bike got offline or whatever else, but he knew he didn't have the drive to probably make that move. And as a rider, you probably know that, but Jeffrey Herlings then having to settle for fourth. But Gajser, Prado, Herlings is how it finishes overall here in the MXGP of Czech Republic in Loket. So just waiting for the rest of the riders to come through, but for Tim Gajser, he finally gets his victory here. He becomes the 51st different winner around this Loket circuit. Honda with 4 victories now. And Tim Gajser adds Slovenia to the list of winning nationalities. 11 different countries now have won around this Loket circuit over the years, since 1995. And Tim Gajser, on his 195th Grand Prix start, celebrates with a Grand Prix victory here in Loket, his 48th career victory. But what a ride from Herlings. A couple of Gajser fans making their way down to the podium then. It's going to be a noisy one. It's going to be a colourful one as well. But anyway, here's Lisa Leyland with Tim Gajser. See what he has to say.
Tim Gajser, congratulations. Your first ever victory around this track here in Loket, so special moment for you. That's 3 GP victories in total this year. How do you reflect on your weekend?
Yeah, it was a good weekend, you know. That's not my favorite track, but anyway, I give it my best. Yesterday rode really good. Today, first race, so we struggled a little bit, but came to the finish on 3rd place. What was good points. Now winning the 2nd one, super happy. Huge thank you to all my team, everybody around me. We work really hard, and it's paying off.
Congrats, thank you.
Tim Gajser wins race 2, wins the overall Grand Prix here in Czech Republic. And he moves 36 points clear of Jorge Prado now in the fight for the championship. But what a day for Tim Gajser and HRC. The Slovenian will finally view the podium from the top step. His 6th podium around here, his first victory. Congratulations, Tim Gajser and Team HRC. Give me the official confirmation then of that 2nd race result. Tim Gajser wins for Team HRC from Jorge Prado, Red Bull Gas. Vlaanderen Monster Energy Yamaha, 3rd, Herlings Red Bull KTM. Then the 2 Kawasaki Racing Team riders, Fevre and Siwa, Koldenhoff for Fantic Factory Racing, and Van Donnick 8th in the race. For JM Honda, Valentin Guillaume and Kevin Horgmo, the 2 Ship-to-Cycle Honda SR Motor Blues riders, ran out the top 10. Then we've got Bonacorsi, Bogas, Pacharel on the Debach Yamaha, Panzer, Ferrato. And behind Ferrato, we had Guadagnini, Spies, Teresac, Pollock, and Monticelli. Overall Grand Prix classification, Tim Gajser with a 3-1 finally gets his hand on a winner's trophy here in Loket. Prado 2nd with 2 seconds, Herlings a 1-4, after a, wow, it was just so many things going on for the Bullet. Valana missing out with 4th overall, but still very, very consistent. C with Fevra, Koldenhoff and Van Donnick. First Grand Prix back from injury, 8th overall for the JM Honda, putting the smiles on the face of Jackie Martins and the team there as they head to their home round in a week's time. Pacharel and Bogas ran out the top 10. Championship looks like this then. Tim Gajser now 36 points clear. So over the course of the weekend, he's made 2 points over Jorge Prado. Herlings there 3rd, losing ground in that second race. But the championship fight, the battle, is still very much on. Between the top 3 in the championship. The Manufacturers' Championship then looks like this. Honda still lead the way from Gas and KTM. Kawasaki and Yamaha there running out the top 5. Then we've got Fantic, Husqvarna and Beta. Let's take a look at the foxhole shot, shall we? There was so much going on going into the first turn, but the starts are back for Jorge Prado. 12 now for the season. Hasn't had one since race 2 in Latvia 5 rounds ago. Prado now moves on to 12, Gajser 5, Seaver on 4. So the Red Bull Gas rider picking up the black plate. Of course, he's getting ready for the podium as well. And so are we. It's been an eventful weekend here in Loket at the MXGP of Czech Republic. But Team Honda will celebrate down there. Tim Gajser will celebrate from the top step. Jeffrey Herlings, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing. Victorious in race 1 for his 200th career race victory. Too many errors for his liking in race 2. Meant 4th place and 3rd overall. But what a ride to get there in the first place. Jorge Prado, Red Bull Gas Factory Racing, 2nd overall for the Spaniard, who's 36 points down on Tim Gajser now in the championship chase. But Tim Gajser, Team HRC, gets his first victory here in Loket. That was a tough race for all of them. And Giacomo Garibaldi with Junior there on the podium. Martin probably wondering what all the noise is about. Well, there was a great firework display from the start straight last night. We had more fireworks here today. Zdenek Bednar, the Loket mayor, would attest to that. 3rd overall for Jeffrey Herlings, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing. Still in the championship fight, but didn't make it smooth and plain sailing, did he, in that second race. Richard Gironi, ACCR CEO, hands a 2nd place trophy to Jorge Prado, Red Bull Gas Factory Racing. And Jorge Viegas, the FIM president, hands the winner's trophy to Tim Gajser. His first winner's trophy from the Czech Republic here in Loket. No wonder he's all smiles, because he's extended his championship lead in the process as well over his 2 main rivals, stage left and stage right. And Michael Sikora, the FIM Europe president, handing the team trophy to Giacomo Garibaldi, Team HRC. And the championship leader's red plate will be delivered by Mr. Antonio Elia Portela, the FIM CMS director, to Tim Gajser, who continues to lead as we head to round 14, the MXGP of Flanders at Lommel in Belgium, 1 week from now. Your top 3 here this weekend then: Tim Gajser, Jorge Prado, Jeffrey Herlings. National anthem time for Tim Gajser and Slovenia. Tim Gajser in Slovenia. National anthem of Japan for Honda, winning manufacturer this weekend. Tim Gajser stands on the top step of the podium then for the first time here in Loket, Czech Republic, with a third and a first for his first victory here on this soil. Jorge Prado, second overall with 2 seconds. Jeffrey Herlings third with a win and a very hard-fought fourth place. We'll talk to the top three in just a couple of moments. Here's the highlights of race 2. And the highlights are all going to be Jeffrey Herling, aren't they? They're all going to be one-way traffic, probably. Let's take a look, shall we? Well, this was a very eventful race, wasn't it? MXGP race 2. Jeffrey Herling's already spinning up, coming off the gate. He got closed off as well. He was forced to take the inside line. He avoided the carnage there of Monticelli and Guadagnini, but then top left corner of your screen, he caught the rear wheel of a rider going in whilst about 748, tipped over and re-emerged right at the back. Prado led. He took the foxhole shot. Gajser was there second. Verlander in third. As Herlings started his fight back through, he was in 12th, trying to find his way into 11th before he caught the rear wheel of Andrea Bonacorsi. Siwa got the better of Valentin Guillot to move into 6th on lap 3. He would eventually finish in 6th place, but not before he'd cleaned out the 189 of Brian Bogus, who realised late that there was a pass on the cards. Herlings then found his way eventually onto the rear wheel of Siwa, barged his way past as he moved into 5th on lap 7. This was Gajser and Prado disputing the lead. Went back and forth for a few corners. Neither one of the champions was to give an inch, and it was Gajser who eventually forced his way through. Herlings was closing in on Fevre. The Frenchman then had a problem. Fevre then had to yield as Herlings moved into 4th place. He couldn't do anything about Calvin Verlander. He got close, got onto the rear wheel. There was a mistake or two there on the final lap. And then 2 corners from here is where his attack stopped, because right in this next right-hander is where he threw in the towel. But it was Gajser who won the race and the Grand Prix.
Tim Gajser, massive congratulations. Like I said before, it's your first ever victory around this track. It seems to be a very special one. We just saw your mum with tears in her eyes when she listened to the national anthem. It's a big win for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a big one, you know, especially when you do it on the track that you always struggle, you know, for since we are coming here, since I'm coming here, you know, I never enjoy riding that track. So first win, you know, in many years trying. So huge thank you. We did many steps with the team, you know, on the bike. The bike was working great now in second moto. I was feeling good, so huge thank you to all my team, everybody around me, and yeah, it's a special one.
Thank you. Second overall today we have Jorge Prado. Jorge, 2 second place finishes for you. I know you lost the lead in both races, but solid, consistent weekend for you.
Yeah, I would say 3 P2s this weekend, starting from Saturday. So it was, let's say, consistent result-wise. I know I've been always struggling quite a lot on this track with traction and stuff, and one more year it proved, you know, I didn't ride super comfortable. I tried my best, I give it all, and I finished P2. That's the best I could. Manage points for the championship. To be honest, not super happy, right? We want to catch up on team, and we lost again some points, but it is what it is. Sand race is coming up, been training in the sand. I grew up riding sand, so it should be good. I'm really looking forward to Lommel next weekend and make a good bounce back. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Jorge. Third overall today is Jeffrey Herlings. I actually didn't think I'd be interviewing you, to be fair, Jeffrey. Race win, but let's talk about that second race. I mean, it was pretty much like a masterclass on how to pass on this track. How was it for you?
The first 1.5 lap was maximum chaos. I mean, Guadagnini crashed in the first turn, and I just went over him. So eventually I was like 10th, I think, going into the second turn, and somebody brake checked, and I hit his rear wheel. Crash was dead last. made up like 15 places, I think, a 1.5 lap, and then I think it was Bonacorsi, he got a high-sider out of the turn, a slow one, and he hit my front wheel, crashed again, bent my handlebar, and again had to come from last and almost made it to third. It was really close, but third overall, our heat win today, and next up is London, so looking forward to it.
Why did you let Vlaanderen go on that final lap?
I had an idea where I could pass him, but I just couldn't make it happen, and the last 3 turns were just following. I know I couldn't pass him there, so there I just had to follow, so I had to give up. But also I was tired in the end, so anyway, third overall is still okay for this track.
Okay, thanks, Jeff.
Not often you hear him say he had to give up there, but Jeffrey Herlings realising then when he didn't get that drive. And he came so close to that third place, but he did get third overall. Keeps the championship alive, although he did lose a couple of points in the championship this weekend. But I'm sure he'll be looking forward to Lommel a week from now. But so too will Jorge Prado. No stranger to the sand, very efficient round there as well. And he'll be looking to claw some points back on the man who denied him victory here today and denied Gas their first victory around this Loket circuit. So the wait for victory for GG goes on another year. But Tim Gajser, he finally gets his hand on the trophy here in Loket. He gets to view the podium from the top step as he wins for the first time on Czech soil. Tim Gajser, your Grand Prix winner here, the MXGP of Czech Republic in Loket. He extends his lead at the top of the championship as well to 36 points as we head to round 14, the MXGP of Flanders in Lommel. Tim Gajser, congratulations to him and to Team HRC. And we are out of time, and we will be back a week from now, the MXGP of Flanders in Lommel in Belgium. Thanks for watching. We'll see you then. There's going to be some sore heads and some happy faces, but from the beautiful, picturesque town of Loket. That's all we've got time for. We'll be back a week from now, the MXGP of Flanders. We'll see you then. Bye for now.